I'm Justin Davis, and this is Drone Camps RC. Hey guys, welcome back to the Drone Camps channel. I'm Justin Davis, and today we're going to review a new charger by iSDT. It's the T8 BatGo Smart Charger, and I'm super excited about this one because this one is a beast. It charges up to 1,000 watts max charge power, and it'll charge all the way up to 35 amps. I have no other charger in my shop that will charge up to 35 amps, and it'll charge up to an 8S battery, which is also insane because the biggest batteries I have in the shop are 6S. I don't even know anybody that has any 8S batteries. You might have some on some super big electric airplanes or huge drones, but for a bench charger, this one's going to be great for maybe just your solo bench charger. You could use this in combination with iSDT's 160 watt AC adapter and plug this right into the wall. And this is cool because it also comes with an XT60, and we can just plug it into the input right here. It does 12 to 40 volts input. Also have firmware port updates right there and a USB port. So just go ahead and plug this in. You see that little T8 logo pop up, and we have sort of a different type of screen here than what shows up on the Q6, but it shows me all my cell voltage right there. It shows 1 through 8. And if I did have a battery plugged in, it will actually automatically show me how many cells I do have and the individual cell voltage in each battery. Now over here on the left hand side, you see it says amps right there, and that's going to show you what the current amps are going into the battery during charge. And this little wheel is different than the Q6 because the Q6 has that little spin wheel here and a little push button, and this one's not a wheel at all, it's actually a little thumb pad. So we have back right here, forwards and backwards to make selections. In the middle, you press that button and you can go into the task setting menu. I can go back out like that, and you have a play and a stop button here for starting and stopping tasks. So over on this side you have the output, and that's where your XT60 is going to plug in for your battery, and then your huge monstrous 1 to 8S balance port right there. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your battery, you're going to take the ground side first over here, the negative side, and always start to that side and then plug in your XT60, and then it automatically shows me my cells in the battery. I have a 4S HV battery here, and I can go ahead and go into the menu if I want to start up a charge. Now normally you might have it set to Lipo. It'll also do Li-ion, LiFe, PD, and nickel metal cadmium batteries, but I'm going to put it back to the high voltage battery there, and Lipo high voltage. We're going to leave the cell voltage at 4.35 because that's what it automatically detects that these are going to have a full charge to. So I'll go back out of that. My cell voltage for maximum charge is good. My cell count says 4S, and you can charge batteries on this one from 1 to 8S like I was saying, so you can go make your selection here by going up and down. We're going to leave that on 4S, and I'm going to go down to the current, and the current for this task, for this charge, I want to have at 1.8 amps, and you can go up quite a bit on this. I usually charge around 1.8 to 2.0 amps, mainly because it's more of a safe, slow charge. If you slow charge your batteries, it's a slower charge and it takes care of the cells a little bit better. You'll have a longer battery life. If you do a high voltage charge, like a quick charge, it's gonna drain the battery life. The life expectancy of your battery is gonna go way down. So I'm gonna go back out of that. We go to task selection. It'll do charge, discharge, or storage. If you're leaving town, you can do a storage charge. Maybe if you're leaving for a couple months and you're going to leave your lipos in your house, you could do a storage charge on all your batteries. And we have the task button here to going to start that task. And as soon as I do that, you see the cell voltage here and individual voltage for each cell. And it shows me a little graph right there, how much each cell has, just a little pictorial. Up at the top left, it has the amps going into the battery currently, 1.8 amps. It has a Lipo HV right there, 4S. We have 16.9 volts currently in the battery, and it shows me 10 milliamp is going in, how long it's been charging for. So this one doesn't have that little percentage rate up at the very top like the other one did. I'm just going to go down, show you the working info. If you go back up, it'll show you the cell's impedance right there, which is kind of cool. and the working info. So you can look and see what is being put in your tank there. You can see the current, and it's set to Celsius, the current temperature of the battery. You can see how many watts are being pushed, and you can see the current voltage there up at the very top. If you want to stop this current task, you can press in the middle there, and you can press stop. And you can do this two ways. I'm just going to go ahead and start it again. Start the task. I'm going to go back to that main screen where it shows the voltage in the cells. If I press over here on the right hand side, it's also going to stop. So you have a start-stop button here as well. So two different ways you can stop this charge. By pressing the middle. You can also go up and change the current that's going into the battery. During the middle of the charge, you can actually increase or decrease the current amps going into the battery. So that's kind of a nice option. If we go all the way back down, okay, we'll go back to 1.8 there and make that selection, and now I can wait for the battery to finish charging. So you can also charge multiple batteries at once on this, which is also kind of nice. You can use a board that's going to allow up to 6 different batteries at once, and I'll show you a few different types of leads that I made up for this T8. Now, while this AC adapter is super cool, it does 160 watts up to 6 amps. So don't try to charge anything more than 6 amps with this on the bench. You might actually overheat this one. So 27 volts max on this one also. So this is nice, but there is another option. If you want to charge out in the field, just like the other Q6, you can power this by a larger field battery, and that way you don't have to have an AC adapter with you or plug it into an outlet. Say if you're at a race or you're somewhere at a remote location, you can bring along one of these. I have a 4S 16,000 milliamp. It has this huge giant XT90 on here, and I made an adapter for it. So we just plug in this in right here. And we have the XT60 on the other end. Go ahead and plug that into the input there. And make sure you always plug it into the input, not the output. I've seen people fry their iSDT chargers like that. So once we have it plugged in, now we can charge in the field, and that's super awesome. I can do the same battery setup here. I can take my 4S battery, plug it in, XT60, and I can start a task. And now I'm charging without the AC adapter. So pretty cool and versatile little charger. And if you fly a DJI Mavic like I do, most of the time my cell phone is dying because after 1 or 2 flights with the Mavic, the DJI Go app just drains a battery. So at the same time, I can also charge my phone off of this setup. If I can figure out which way the USB goes in, and plug this into the bottom of my phone. And now I'm charging my phone at the same time while I'm charging a Lipo. So that's a pretty nice option as well. Now, as far as leads go, you can make up your own, or you can buy a lot of these leads already set up with an XT60 on there, which is kind of nice. This is an XT60 to JST, and that will just plug right into the output right here. And I can charge my JST batteries for my brushless micros. I also have another one here that's for an XT30, and that one just plugs right in there to the XT60 port to charge my XT30 batteries. And I have an old school Dean's plug right there. It's a little adapter. And then also we have for my 1S batteries, this is a little hub stand style connector, and that would just plug into the XT60. No balance lead on this one, but this is also 1S. You don't have to use balance for a 1S battery, and that's an example of a little 1S battery that I have right here. It's for the Dromeda. And then last but not least, I have a Fat Shark adapter for charging up my Fat Shark goggle batteries out in the field. This is pretty sweet because if I start to get low, I can just pull it off my goggles and get a full charge on my Fat Shark battery. Now you can also use a balance board, and this will allow you to charge up to 6 different batteries at once. I say 6 different, but you want to make sure that they're all the same cell rating if you're going to charge batteries on this one. All 4S, 2S, 3S, or 5 or 6S. This does 2 to 6S on this particular board, and the XT60 just plugs in right here, just like this, and you'll take that negative side and plug it in right here on your balance port. Now, before I let you go, I just wanted to show you sort of the whole family that I have here of my iSDT chargers and the two alternate power sources that I can use. I can use my bench source there, the iSDT AC adapter, and for charging out in the field. I'll try to put a link to both of these down in the description below. But the T8 is definitely the biggest monstrous iSDT charger to date. Charging up to 35 amps at 1,000 watts is pretty awesome. So biggest compact charger I've actually ever seen. I don't know if there's another one out there that will match that one. And my longtime favorite is the Q6 Plus, and this one's 300 watts at 14 amps, and it does everything I need it to do up to a 6S battery. So this one's also a great option if you're looking for something that's like super small and does pretty much everything, and you can use the breakout board here, the balance board. You can also do that with this one or this one. This one was my first one. This is the SC608, and this was 150 watt. This was a great start, and this one's mostly square, and they just decided to round this one out and give it twice the wattage, and pretty nice maximum charge rate on this one. So you can do all the same tasks on any of these chargers. Charge, discharge, and storage rates are easily accessible inside the menus, and they're all pretty easy to use. And all of them have relatively the same type of screen, 2.4-inch screen, full color. And all of them do have the beeper and buzzer on here to warn you that your battery's charged, or you have the wrong voltage input or a different type of battery in there. So that's also pretty nice. But iSDT is definitely, they have a lot of really cool stuff. So any of these chargers, you can't go wrong. I would highly recommend any of these chargers for either your bench or charging out in the field. They've pretty much done it all, and they just keep coming out with new awesome stuff all the time. So I have it all covered right here with any of these chargers. Thanks again for watching the channel, you guys. I've had a lot of fun showing you this iSDT T8 Battery Go smart charger.